Before we get started on today's video, I want to explain why you might be seeing this video again. It's because the original upload involved a sponsorship that had some controversy surrounding it with AI applications. The best way for me to respect everybody involved was to re-upload the video without a sponsorship attached to it, because the topic itself is very important, has to do with a scam where people lost their money. So in order to give this video the proper respect that it deserves, since the algorithm did not promote out this video, there's a lot of you that have not seen it, and if you have, I really appreciate you guys for re-watching that. Thank you very much, and back to the video. Hey, welcome back into today's video. We're going to be talking about a 19-year-old high school student who faked several illnesses. Her name's Maddie Russo, and she was arrested lying about having a football-sized tumor that wrapped around her spine. And not to mention, she stole almost $40,000 through a GoFundMe campaign. This is absolutely disgusting, and you're not going to believe how deep this lie goes. She lied to patients who have since passed away. She stole pictures from Google of patients who really had these diseases and said they were her. Brace yourself for today's episode of Exploring TikTokers. Maddie posted pictures like these to her TikTok and other social media to update about her illnesses and garner support. There were multiple clues in each of these pictures just shown that eventually led to her being caught. And we're going to talk about each of those in just a second, but first, you need to know how deep she went with this lie. It was around February 2022 when Maddie came out to the internet that she had stage 2 pancreatic cancer and acute lymphoblastic leukemia and a football-sized tumor that wrapped around her spine. She posted this on a video on her LinkedIn account. So it's obvious to me that this was a thought-out plan. It wasn't a good one, mind you, as you'll see, but it was made with intention. As you can see on her LinkedIn post, she gave advice like, do not struggle in silence, lean on family and friends. Which is very interesting because she did not lean on her family and friends. And in fact, it looks like she kept them as far away as possible, which, could have been a giveaway. Saying a nice quote like, when you get knocked down 9 times, stand up 10 more times. Every day I go to war with myself. I actually don't doubt that. Actually, one of the things she said in her video on this post, I gotta point out.
Please check in on your friends that seem strong, as those people are often the ones that are struggling the most. If you look at me, you would never know that I am sick. I still have hair. I can put on makeup to hide the exhaustion. And
one comment saying in quotes, if you looked at me, you would never know I'm sick, ... I mean, because you're not. Shortly after Maddie's LinkedIn post, she, of course, made a GoFundMe campaign to garner support and money and just trick a lot of people. This is what the GoFundMe looked like, and you can see here it was organized by a man named Tom Boland. We're going to talk about this guy a little bit later in the video because there's some weird stuff going on there, but we'll get to that. She would post updates like this right here and add pictures. Now, it's very interesting because as you can see in this post here, she talks about herself in the third person. I notice she does this a lot. You can see it's posted by her, but it says Maddie's illness is progressively getting worse. And she would generally just post these, and it makes me sick to my stomach. But I think she had a plan with this. I think she was going to fake this, and then she was going to miraculously recover, as you can see here in this post. Without this support, she would not be where she is today and couldn't have made it this far. Here's to the greatest comeback story ever and a miracle in 2023. I believe that she had the full intention to miraculously recover and say it was God or something like that. It's important to note that GoFundMe released a statement when this was discovered to be a huge scam saying this. GoFundMe has zero tolerance policy for misuse of our platform and cooperates with law enforcement investigators of those accused of wrongdoing. GoFundMe's giving guarantee offers donors full refunds in the rare case that something isn't right. This is the first and only donor protection guarantee in the fundraising industry. Donors can file a claim here. Now, I am going to put this link down below because I know there was some over 400 donors that were scammed, innocent victims. So if you are one of those, the link's below. Go get your refund and give it to somebody that actually deserves it. It also says the Eldridge Police Department requests that any people or businesses that have donated to Russo contact them at 563-285-3916 or email the Eldridge Police Department at police@cityofeldridge.org. This is mostly because, aside from the $40,000 that were scammed through the GoFundMe, she received anonymous donations from foundations and just other people. Like, it's probably a lot more than $40,000 that she stole. She would post messages and montages on her TikTok like this.
Hey, just a reminder, no one prepared you for what you were gonna go through. There was no way you could have been prepared. And you still handled it with grace. And you still did the best that you could. And that is enough.
Oh, it's so gross. I want to point out that in multiple posts, she would tag her sister, Brooke Hardkoff. The reason that this is significant is because, well, her sister Brooke is a pharmacist. And you would think that her working somewhat in the medical field that she would have thought something was off. But we're going to get into more details about that a little bit later in the video. Also tagged in many posts was her mother, Peggy Russo, who herself posted updates, as you'll see. There's a lot of things that spawned out of these updates, these pictures that she would post online that eventually led to her being caught. Did you spot any of them? There were issues specifically with this picture right here. Do you spot anything out of ordinary? Let me know in the comment section below. One TikToker said this about it.
She posts pictures like this that have her port. And I don't know if you've ever seen a cancer port. They're not usually this sloppy. And what got a lot of people that started talking is that this is a feeding tube. This is an NG tube. It goes in your nose, down into your stomach, right? It's not primed. And what that means is that if she was really using this, first of all, there's nothing in that bag. This would be where the nutrition would be. There's nothing in this bag. And if she was actually being fed via feeding tube, this tube would be full of this white liquid. There's nothing in that. So she would just be pumping air into her stomach. And those look like cotton balls. And her port is still messy. Also, do you see that right there? That little purple spot? Yeah, that's supposed to be down in her stomach. That's her, like, taking something. Sorry, I had to look for something. That's her taking something and going like this and saying it's an NG tube.
Wait a minute. Did you see that? It's right here. I got the same pin. Cool. Another TikToker by the name of Nerdy Pink Panda said this about the feeding tube.
What the hell kind of chemo port is that supposed to be? First off, it's in the wrong place. And this is what the bandaging looks like. She's not in the hospital because there's a lamp right there. Jay, hospitals have lamps. Yes, but not ones that are in the background at her apartment in other videos, where she clearly took the picture off the wall behind it.
So get this, the majority of the pictures in her updates were either stolen or just straight up fake, which could be easily found by reverse image search on Google. I'm gonna show you how to do that, but look at this picture. Posted on her TikTok here, this picture right here. Now, I wanna point out that this doesn't even look like her anyways. Spoiler alert, it's not. You can take this picture. Look at them fake tears. Go to Google, go to images, click the little camera, take the picture, drag it in, drop it. And then you can find the visual match right there, but you can also just find the image source. And you can find multiple articles talking about the actual real woman and her struggles with this illness. So this is the real person. Her name is Jessica Sanders. The great news is she survived and recovered, but the bad news is that her pictures were stolen by Maddie, and this is something that she went through and experienced real emotions for, as can be seen here. And it's disgusting that somebody would do this. She actually released a statement saying this. I was shocked to find out someone used my images falsely for their personal gain. Survivorship is very difficult emotionally, and this really hit me hard. I was very vulnerable, and she exploited that. I feel violated. And this isn't the only person that Maddie violated in this way. On multiple occasions, Maddie went to events and spoke, met real survivors and lied to their face, gave fake advice, and you know people tried it. Here in this post, she says, how I kept my hair during chemo radiation. This girl would literally put on wigs when she had healthy hair that there was nothing wrong with it, just to put on for these events. Giving out advice like this to people that really have these illnesses is disgusting.
Something I wanted to share was how I've been keeping my hair during treatment with chemo and radiation. I've used some products that I think have definitely helped aid with keeping my hair.
And she also talks about this brand of regrowth treatment called Hers, and actually biotin, which is insane to me.
Online comes with like a 3-month supply. I started this right away when I started treatment, and then soon after treatment my mom found this. It's biotin with collagen and keratin.
One person who went online to talk about her experience with Maddie said this. Anna, who actually does have this illness, says, "And so there I was sitting on my couch looking at that post," the post being Maddie's post about the hair, "and asking myself, what was I doing wrong? Why was I bald, weak, and couldn't even think about walking, let alone running? Walking to the car to get to the hospital was a challenge. I was thinking that I did something wrong, or maybe that I was not strong enough." And it's no wonder she felt this way, because Maddie was representing herself as someone who was able to still live their life normally, be active, play sports, go running, and it's just not realistic. What she done to all these people, man, I hope they throw away the key. The husband of that woman said, "My wife connected with Maddie as she was afflicted with the same type of illness as her. We cheered for her, commiserated with her, and amplified her message, and supported her GoFundMe." Well, it was all a lie. Maddie does not have this illness. This is wow. In another situation, there was an individual that Maddie met who actually did have this illness, named Charlie. Maddie posted saying, "It just absolutely breaks my heart. Charlie and I would text each other daily, talking about all the ups and downs of both of our battles with this illness. And she was seriously just a sweet, genuine soul. We are the same age, lived within minutes of each other, and could relate to each other 100%. My last texting conversation was just one day before she earned her wings. Rest in peace, Charlie. Fly high until we see each other again. You will always be our queen." Oh my God. A lot of people were asking, how did the family not know? And that's a feeling that I share with everybody else. There was one message that was seen from Peggy that might shed some light on how they didn't know. In a Facebook post from Maddie Russo, she said, "I appreciate you. Unfortunately, I've never been allowed to go along on any appointments. I've never met her doctors. I've asked a billion times to please let me learn more about this and help you. Told her she didn't have to do it alone, but she insisted. One thing I've said to her many times was Charlie never did it without her parents. They were always there. She never said, you guys just keep working and I'll go to Iowa City alone. I've never understood why she thought she wanted to go by herself. She always told me she could handle it and to stay and work. Maybe because I'm a single parent and help her financially. I don't know. No one's ever understood that. Was it pride? But it's broken my heart for a year." It wasn't pride, Peggy. It wasn't pride. Now, there is no evidence that Peggy or any of the family knew, but I'm just saying, Peggy did update several times, and she went to events, as can be seen here. So here's her mother with her daughter at an event that she spoke out, and another. I guess this is a boyfriend. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it's a brother. I don't know. But he's also tagged in several posts. It also doesn't help that Peggy posted in detail updates like this.
Okay, I had heard a couple things before I posted this. One of them was that her mom was estranged, that she lied to her mom, and her mom requested a second opinion, and she cut off all ties. But then I get these DMs from my anonymous FBI agents that are out there. And it makes me wonder if this is a Munchausen by proxy case, or just a Munchausen's case, or just a psychopath case. This was on January 5th. Prayers for Maddie tonight. She started a medicine on Tuesday, blah, 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 encoded in the ER. These are more from her mom. Pause to read. I'm not going to read through this whole thing, so pause to read. Pause to read. Pause to read again.
Now, I'm not saying that the mother or anybody in the family knew. I don't think there's enough evidence to suggest that. However, what about the guy that organized the GoFundMe? Remember, his name was Tom Boland. I did a little bit of Google search and found some things. One person saying, so the guy who set up the GoFundMe is Tom Boland. A simple Google search brings up his LinkedIn profile, and he's a financial advisor in Quad Cities. Then when you look at Iowa courts online and search Maddie Russo, it shows the guy bailed her out, LOL. He has to get charged with something. He's obviously in on the scam as well. And I did verify he did bail her out. He paid $10,000. You can see his signature, Tom Boland. Interestingly enough, he's pretty mysterious in this situation. One article saying, it's unclear how Boland and Russo knew each other. Even though this man organized the GoFundMe that would end up scamming over 400 different people, I did find something that's more of a conspiracy theory I'm going to show you, but there's no evidence that this is the case. This TikTok says, take the following with a grain of salt, as it has been going around. Eldridge and 2 different people have sent this for me to post. So it's like it's going around that hometown there. It's like one of those things where they send out a mass text to everybody, so that's kind of weird in itself. It goes on to say, and remember, the only person guilty right now is Maddie Russo. Do not go after Maddie's family or the Boland family. It is not right. Speculation is to be expected. However, it is not okay to wish harm upon anyone. It says, here's a little bit of an idea timeline that came from close family friends of the Russos. So it starts with Maddie Russo and Tom Boland having an affair for 3 years. That went 0 to 100. Saying that Maddie's mom, Peggy, was always trying to get her away from him. Now, I'm going to post this on the screen. You guys can pause to read this entire story. I feel like since it's speculation at this point, it's not right for me to read the whole thing, but still, we speculate, so just take this with a grain of salt. It is unclear to me how someone, because if he's not involved, right, he got scammed and he's an innocent person, so then why would he spend $10,000 to bail her out of jail? It just makes no sense. So you let me know what you think in the comment section below. So obviously, of course, Maddie was arrested. I heard that she was arrested in her class, which had to be embarrassing, but you know, just desserts. She was charged with a Class C felony, and they did a search warrant at her apartment, and they found some very strange things. They found medical equipment such as IV pole, tubes, and medical bandages. Her 2023 Kia Sportage, the new car, $346 in cash, an iPhone with a black case, a brown wig. She didn't need that. 2 different planners, 4 pages of emails from Coach Chella, strangely, which is a consulting firm for cannabis medicine. So this girl was going to get high during all this, apparently. Financial statements with bank information, including information about another person. 2 prescription bottles prescribed to another person. Receipts, gift cards, and a Michael Kors purse. Well, she just had a field day. There are now currently 439 possible victims, and that's just from the GoFundMe scam. Almost $40,000. Now, keep in mind that she robbed people outside of this at events. She was on podcasts. People sent in money to her. I mean, like, this girl probably had a lot of money, much more than we know about. And I'm sure she got money from just random people at these events too, out of their hands. So it's a really gross situation. Probably the most crazy thing to me is that she ended up pleading not guilty. So there's going to be updates on this. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on. I am going to update on this, especially on my Twitter. I'll put the Twitter link in the description and pinned comment. Make sure you go follow the Twitter for updates on these types of things. And with that being said, as interesting as this is, there's always something that's more interesting to me. That's right, you guessed it. I want to know what you think. So just go ahead and leave your creative and interesting responses in the comment box below. Thumbs up, photos, likes, as always, brothers and sisters. I will see you in the next video. Disgusting. I'd like to thank my patrons for your continued and ongoing support. And I want to give you guys a shout out. We're going to do a lot of things coming up very soon. I'm doing a lot of changes in the Patreon. So if you guys want to support what I do here on this channel and get your name at the end of my videos, we're about to meet a goal. Currently at 60 patrons. I want to get to 70 patrons. It's only $1 to join. You can check it out, look at the tiers, see what fits you best, and let me know if you're a new patron in the comment section below. And again, big shout out to the app Wonder. Don't forget to click the link in the description box below for the free trial. Also want to give a shout out to anybody who's donated to the charity to help children in difficult situations, to the right on desktop, below on mobile. We're almost to goal, and that's all you. I appreciate you guys. That's just the way to show you're repping. If you're not repping, you're Greg, and how you do that. I'm going to subscribe, notifications turned on, be in the comment section of every single video, because I'm going to be there. Greg the Cat's going to be there in spirit, and the rest of the Rep Swap community as well. And I expect to see you there too, because this channel loves you. Bad bad people in the world, I'm telling you. I need another coffee after that.